Wow, what a huge move. What a day to talk about Bitcoin and Litecoin. Guys, that was absolutely incredible. For many of you that don't know, we're going to get into it, but something huge happened on the East Coast time between midnight and 2 a.m. last night, and we're still witnessing it. I'm sure this isn't the first video you've heard of it. My phone absolutely blew up with notifications from pretty much every single channel that I'm subscribed to talking about this. In fact, many people were live last night during it happening. I saw Kevin Svensson was live. Alex Cobb was actually tracking Bitcoin, and that was actually a pretty fun stream to watch. He's an XRP holder, and I believe he actually does not hold any Bitcoin, which I think is a little silly, but his stream was super hyped. People were super excited, and he was hyped because this is a significant break, and we'll talk a little bit about why it was such a significant break. The reason, let's first go to Litecoin. The reason that this was massive, Litecoin has not been above $70 for about 7 entire months now. Let's circle the area. This is the last time Bitcoin was above 70 US dollars right here. This entire time, it has not been above 70. How long is that? That's about 7 months since September of 2018 to now. So that over half of a year, we haven't seen this. And it didn't happen very, very, very slowly, although you can see it climbing for a little bit. There was also a pretty big pump at the beginning of February, but this candle itself was pretty massive, all happening within a period of an hour. This isn't really a daily candle. This is the daily candle, but this entire jump happened within a very, very short period. Now, that might sketch some people out. Pump and dump, people might be getting a little scared about that. That's one thing, but when we relate that to Bitcoin's chart, which is really the most important one to look at, Bitcoin broke one of the longest resistance that it's had for 2018, and even going back before then, back to November. This roughly 4,200 area everyone's been talking about. So the descending triangle you can see here, and then you can see this ascending triangle. Clearly, this is the ascending part. This is the horizontal part, which then makes up the horizontal or the ascending triangle. And it broke that right here. It broke that. And it didn't just break it by a little bit. It broke it by almost $1,000. It did go above $5,100. Bitcoin went above 5,100 US dollars. Very briefly, it currently is not at 5,100. Currently, it's at 48.20. And if we just want to zoom in real quick, we can just get a little picture of how it's holding up. It's been holding steady for over 12 hours. Over 12 hours, it's been holding these levels. Now, are we going to expect a little bit of a pullback in the short term? Probably, because this was such a big move all at once. But what's really important is this the spark to start the next run? And that's what people are really excited about. People want that nostalgia. People want that feeling that this brought them. Let's go back in the chart. People want the nostalgia people want this feeling. People want to see absolute climbs with some retracements, clearly, along the way. Some pretty big retracements along the way. But something, the last few months of 2017 were absolutely parabolic. And we haven't felt that. We didn't feel that at all in 2018. And we haven't felt it at all in 2019 so far. We are 33% done with 2019 already. Isn't that incredible to say? 2019 is already 1/3 of the way over. And 2018 is already completely over. And we didn't really have any price excitement that entire time. This, in my opinion, is the first real taste of a nice break that could indicate bullish momentum and a bullish return to the market. Now, the reason that's exciting too is because it's based completely on technicals, I think. I don't really think this wasn't driven by news. Google just didn't say Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency of the world. Nothing happened like that. This was pure technicals. From this descending triangle break to the ascending triangle and a break. That is based on trading. It's based on the market patterns in action. So that is pretty crazy. That's why people are excited. And Litecoin is doing really well. So get excited for that, guys. What will we see in the near future? I personally expect, we need some time. We might retrace within the next week, maybe even much sooner than that, considering how violent this was. Or we could absolutely moonshot. Um, the next big thing, obviously, is going to be 6K for Bitcoin. That's going to be the resistance right here. 6K was support the entirety of 2018. So we have to expect that for the next run, if Bitcoin gets to 6K, we already broke 5K. We didn't hold it, but we did break 5K. We broke 5.1K. We didn't hold it. But we're kind of testing that area right now. And if we can find a new support along here, again, we're broken out of this pattern. Now, unless we would drop drastically back into it, which doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense technically, that's not usually what would happen there. Unless something like that would happen, we're most likely going to try and find some new supports. And if you look back historically, at least with Bitcoin, the drop from 6K to 3K, there was not much support at all. It was kind of just down. It was almost every single day. It was another like 10, 15% loss, just one after another. Boom, 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 boom. You don't see much support. The first support we found was right around that 4.2, 4.3, which is where we've had trouble breaking out for the past 5 or 6 months. So now that we are in this new territory, it's going to be exciting to see what becomes the mid to longer term play in terms of which direction we're going to head. In my opinion, I don't really see something like this being a possibility. It doesn't make sense technically. The market is in a different place. We've already gone through so much consolidation, and crypto is exciting, not in terms of price, but in terms of its growth for a lot of people in this space. I think you guys would agree with that. So I don't necessarily see something like this being the case. And why I'm saying that is because I think it would be something more positive. And that's not saying we're going to shoot straight up. We're probably going to have to find some support, and then we can go up, and we'll continue to go up. So that's really exciting to me, I think. And again, this is Bitcoin. Litecoin is kind of its whole different beast. It's just been performing so well. It's performing so darn well. So much overextended from this 50-day moving average. Again, you can see right now Litecoin is fighting with its own resistance right here at $70 US, whereas Bitcoin doesn't necessarily have a lot in this area here, unless if we just want to take a look and see how overextended we are from the moving average. Right now, about 22%. And again, that's kind of like a normal thing in terms of extensions from the moving averages. But in terms of previous actual levels compared to this, Bitcoin doesn't really have it. Litecoin does, because 70 has historically been a point of resistance. You can see that here, played resistance here, and it played support here. And this is all the way back towards the end, the last few months of 2017, and even more recently than that, September of 2018, again, about 7 months ago. So this area for Litecoin is pretty important. And I think, maybe you can compare those two, Bitcoin and Litecoin, because even though Bitcoin doesn't have something similar to like that, even though Bitcoin doesn't have something similar you can draw horizontally like that, Litecoin does. And it's all, it's a percentage game. Everything is still coupled very tightly together. So with Litecoin, I definitely expect that if Litecoin holds support or even gets above it right now, because currently it's not really above it, it's like less than 50 cents below this. If Litecoin can get above this, find some support and keep going, we're going to see some excitement in the next few months. Well, we're going to see some excitement definitely in the next few weeks. And then longer term trend, we still have to wait and see. I guess you can't really make any educated guesstimations before then. But definitely if we see Litecoin get above 70 and continue to climb, we're kind of off. I think the next level after that would probably be around the 90 the 90 to 100 is huge for Litecoin. If Litecoin gets above 100, I'm going to call it and say like, wow, I wish I would have invested my entire, I wouldn't, not your life savings, but things could get exciting soon. Again, I'm overhyping it a little bit, but this is actually a really good move technically. It's exciting because it's a feeling that people haven't felt in a very long time. And Litecoin, when this is all happening, as mentioned in previous videos, Litecoin is ahead of the pack. Litecoin is doing very well. It's above literally every coin in terms of percentage in the top 20, except Bitcoin Cash. I don't personally think Bitcoin Cash's volume, its price, or anything is ever actually real. I think there's a lot of stuff, Bitcoin Cash is just trying very hard to not be looked at as not Bitcoin. It just wants to be looked at as Bitcoin. But yeah, guys, very exciting stuff. This was super exciting to wake up to. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video. Make sure to turn on those post notifications and subscribe for those future updates.